Hello everyone. Welcome back to Juno Recaps Movies. Today, I will recap a new Chinese movie named Go Back Lover. The movie started the scene in 2018. Xing Ruo won the grand finale of the Race Against Time academic tour program on Star City TV. Her boyfriend, Xing Yan, proposed to Shen at the show's end. They had been together since they were 18, and their relationship had always been stable. However, the sudden proposal surprised Shen Xingrua, and they broke up for unknown reasons. Fast forward to 2024. Xing Ruo is now a producer of reality shows. She and her assistant director, He Ming, go to the airport to look for potential candidates for their new show. They approach an airport employee, hoping to invite him to join, but he suspects them of being scammers after looking at their offer. He Ming then notices an attractive man, who seems to see them as well. As they head toward him, he quickly leaves. As they move into the departure lounge, Xing Ruo realizes the man is none other than her former lover. The atmosphere becomes charged, memories flashing, and both get teary-eyed. Just then, He Ming arrives, asking Xing Yan if he's interested in joining their show Goodbye Heartbeat. Noticing his confusion, He Ming wonders why Xing Ruo hasn't told him anything yet. Noticing their tension and familiarity, He Ming quickly guesses what's happening. At that moment, Xing Ruo receives a call from her old school friend, Chen Zhu, who tells her that the car coming to pick her up has a flat tire, so she should make her way there since she's the maid of honor. Xing Ruo promises to hurry over. Xing Yan offers to drive her, and she reluctantly agrees to go with him. At the wedding, Xu Chengzhou and Chen Zhu are holding a divorce ceremony. Their speeches sound more like a heated debate than a farewell. Due to a traffic jam, Xing Ruo and Xing Yan arrived late but made it before the ceremony ended. As maid of honor and best man, they each retrieve the rings. Then, an unexpected moment occurs during the video presentation when a clip of Xing Yan's original proposal to Xing Ruo plays. Back then, Xing Ruo had accepted Xing Yan's proposal. After placing the ring on Xing Ruo's finger, he lifted her joyfully, and the audience cheered along. However, the reason behind their breakup remains a mystery. Following the divorce ceremony, a playful grievance pillow fight session is organized. Guests are given pillows to vent any lingering grudges. Xing Yan and Xing Ruo also participate, taking this chance to unleash years of pent-up emotions in a chaotic pillow fight. Xing Yan is invited to be a guest on the show, but Xing Ruo is unaware. Her boss asks her to meet with the guest, and she discovers it's him. The higher-up, Mr. Yang, specifically ordered them to have the Double Stars duo on the show since their proposal video had gone viral and was still popular. Mr. Yang's daughter had even been a fan of their Double Stars couple back in the day, so having them both on the show was mandatory. Although Xing Ruo is the producer, it's ridiculous for her to participate as a guest. Aware of her company's financial difficulties and mounting debts, she approaches Xing Yan, realizing that securing him as a guest could offer the company a lifeline. Their conversation takes on a professional tone, but he is taken aback, feeling she exploits their past for the show's appeal. Upset, he abruptly changes his mind, stating that he won't participate and doesn't want her bringing it up again. He leaves and happens to meet Jia Jing downstairs. The two chatted for a while, and she saw an eyelash on Xing Yan's face. She reached out to help him remove it. As Xing Ruo and her boss try to chase him, they witness Xing Yan in what appears to be a close moment. Assuming he isn't single, back at home, Xing Ruo confides in her roommates, Chen Zhu and Qin Qin, about the day's events. She's frustrated, as Xing Yan is their only option for the show, and avoiding him is no longer possible. Later, she visits Xing Yan's home, where his mother, who is missing Xing Ruo, persuades her to stay the night. During her conversation with Xing Yan's mom, Xing Ruo knows he's single. Seeing an opportunity, she arranges for her son to drive Xing Ruo home, and though reluctant, he eventually agrees. In his car, she notices a pair of women's sneakers. Feeling jealous until he catches up to her and helps her put them on, she suddenly remembers they're her own. Left at his house long ago when he'd promised to throw them away, but surprisingly, he kept them all this time. Xing Ruo continues pushing Xing Yan to join the show as a guest, leaving him hurt as he realizes she's reaching out purely for work. His close friend, Xu Chengzhou, senses something has been off with him since he reconnected with Xing Ruo. He admits he's glad she took the initiative to contact him, even for work, but she isn't considering rekindling their relationship. Xing Yan begins to consider joining the show. While Xing Ruo waits for his decision, Chen Zhu asks if she truly wants him to participate. She admits she doesn't, given the delicate nature of their past relationship, and she hasn't thought about rekindling things since their breakup. She contacts Zhang Shu to discuss other potential guests as a backup plan. However, she's surprised when a doctor answers. informing her that he is in the hospital with a gastric bleed. She learns that the investors are cutting the budget by 6 million yuan. Mr. Zhang had even drunk heavily to negotiate on their behalf, leading to his hospitalization. With upcoming payments due, the project is at risk. Determined to keep it afloat, she offers to use her family home as collateral for a personal investment. Mr. Zhang is deeply touched, especially as she insists he keeps his home for his wife and kids. He personally reaches out to Xing Yan, hoping he will join the show, and accidentally reveals Xing Ruo's plan to mortgage her house. Concerned, Xing Yan realizes their significant funding gap and promises to consider joining the show, whether or not he invests. He ultimately meets with Xing Ruo, announcing his decision to join the show as a title sponsor, investing 6 million yuan to ensure the show aligns with promoting his resort. Xing Ruo asks for 2 days to finalize a mutually beneficial proposal. Just as she leaves, she encounters an old friend, Yu Si, a supervisor at Contact Capital. Yu Si and Xing Yan share a bit of rivalry, especially as Yu Si had comforted Xing Ruo during her painful breakup with Xing Yan while they were abroad. Seeing Xing Yan's investment, Yu Si mistakenly assumes Xing Yan is using it to pressure Xing Ruo into making him a guest, although Xing Ruo explains otherwise. He is unconvinced. Despite this tension, Xing Yan's commitment to the project stands firm. He sees Xing Ruo's potential as the key to mutual success in this high-stakes endeavor. To calm himself, Xing Yan steps out to the restroom, with Yu Si following. Aware of the resort's financial struggles, Yu Si reminds Xing Yan that this is the 3rd year of a high-stakes agreement. If the resort continues to lose money, the contract terms won't be met. Investing 6 million in a reality show poses a considerable risk. Upon returning, Yu Si announced that he had contacted a renowned foreign TV director and secured funding for Xing Ruo's show to film in Germany. This would allow her to bring her team and expand the pool of potential guests. Xing Ruo is undeniably tempted but remains non-committal. After dinner, she finds Yu Si's actions inappropriate. Wishing to avoid rehashing the past, he apologizes, acknowledging that he acted impulsively. However, he urges her to consider his offer for the sake of her team seriously. Xing Yan and Xing Ruo agree on adding an intriguing twist to the show by featuring a divorced couple, each approaching Chen Zhu and Cheng Zhou to secure their participation. As close friends, they know how to persuade each other. And soon, both agree. Xing Yan also suggests another guest, their high school class monitor, Cu, who recently published a book and runs a popular online public account. Xing Ruo feels Cu would bring variety to the guest lineup and agrees he'd be a valuable addition. Back at her company, Xing Ruo updates her team. With the current guest lineup, the show's theme can shift beyond just exes to a broader familiar faces relationship dynamic, from school days to adulthood. This concept appeals to a broader audience. Xing Ruo soon learns from Qin Qin that she was Cu's crush in high school, although their relationship never progressed beyond friendship. She suggests inviting Qin Qin to join the show to explore their almost lover dynamic. Qin Qin hesitates, noting her divorce, which could create discomfort for both. Meanwhile, her ex-husband continues to harass her. She fears him due to his history of domestic violence. And when he tries to act aggressively, Xing Ruo steps in just in time to shield her friend. Xing Ruo warns Li Qi not to cause trouble at the law office, pointing out that there are security cameras and that any attempt to act violently will have serious consequences. Realizing the situation, Li Qi backs down for now but vows to keep waiting for Qin Qin in Star City. Xing Ruo and Chen Zhu have always been puzzled as to why Qin Qin got involved with Li Qi in the first place. Qin Qin explains that growing up, she always ignored all the suitors until Li Qi noticed her. She thought she might never find anyone as caring and married him quickly, only to discover his dark side after marriage. While tidying up at home, Qin Qin finds some old high school materials and recalls her shyness. Her memories are interrupted by a knock at the door. Looking through the peephole, she is shocked to see Li Qi. He managed to find her address after she accidentally shared it while online shopping. She doesn't open the door, but he ends up breaking in through a window. Going into a rage, Qin Qin secretly calls Xing Ruo but has the phone snatched from her before she can say anything. Sensing something wrong, Xing Ruo rushes to her aid with Xing Yan, Cheng Zhou, and Cu. They arrive just in time to stop Li Qi before he can do more harm. Qin Qin is deeply touched. It's the first time anyone has come to her rescue. Though Xing Yan wants to confront Li Qi physically, Qin Qin stops him, and he escapes through the window. Xing Yan arranges for Qin Qin and Xing Ruo to stay at the resort for safety. Xing Ruo helps Qin Qin with her injuries and then heads home to pack a few things. On her way out, she encounters Cu, who asks if she intends to let Li Qi go unpunished. She replies resolutely that she does not. Xing Yan and his friends track Li Qi to an alley. They don't resort to violence but issue a clear warning. They discovered that Li Qi is a top employee at his company, with a zero-tolerance policy toward criminal behavior. They informed him they had the contact information for his company's HR department, and if he continued to harass Qin Qin, they would report his actions, jeopardizing his position. Li Qi tries to play the victim, but Qin Qin has full evidence of his domestic violence during their marriage, sufficient to press assault charges. Xing Ruo gives Li Qi an ultimatum: face a lawsuit or stay away from her. Finally, Li Qi flees. Siyu meets with Qin Qin and expresses admiration for her, especially for recently standing up to Li Qi. He encourages her to join Xing Ruo's show, proposing to the producers that he could play her secret admirer, making the interactions comfortable among friends. Surprised and happy, Qin Qin feels grateful for this unexpected second chance between them. Meanwhile, Director Yang arranges for his daughter Tian Zhao, a massive fan of the double-star pairing, to join Xing Ruo's team. Tian Zhao is thrilled and hopes the two will rekindle their romance. At the resort, Tian Zhao is excited to see Xing Yan and bombards him with questions about Xing Ruo. He finds out she is alone at a building materials market and calls to ask where she is. He went there immediately, since he oversees the resort's renovations. He has extensive experience with materials and negotiations. Outside the store, he lifts Xing Ruo onto a cart, letting her rest as he pushes her along, making them look like a newlywed couple shopping for their home. To prolong his time with her, he playfully teases her in front of vendors, and Xing Ruo plays along. As they reminisce about high school over lunch, they realize how much they've changed. The atmosphere between them becomes increasingly intimate, and Xing Yan, caught up in the moment, considers asking for a fresh start. Yet memories of their breakup hold him back, leaving him uncertain how to say the words he wants to express. In the end, he does not dare to express his feelings. He worried that saying it might push them further apart. So he changed the topic, suggesting they buy more potatoes, claiming he was still hungry. After finishing their meal, they returned to the resort and found everyone working. Xing Ruo was furious, demanding to know who had ordered them to start. Tian Zhao stepped forward and admitted it was her decision. Xing Ruo reprimanded Tian Zhao in front of everyone. She reminded her that setting up the space was the producer's job. As an intern assistant director, she had no right to make those calls, even as the investor's daughter. She told Tian Zhao to pack her things and leave immediately. From that moment, Tian Zhao held a grudge against Xing Ruo and vowed to make things difficult for her in the future. Xing Yan was also worried that Xing Ruo might suffer backlash for confronting Tian Zhao like that. But she explained her reasoning. If she didn't assert herself today, no one would respect her authority as the producer. The show's filming was about to begin, and everyone was both nervous and excited, eager to give their all to this long-awaited project. Tian Zhao soon started causing trouble, suggesting that Xing Ruo's involvement as the producer would interfere with the authenticity of the reality show since she would need to review content and receive reports from the assistant directors. Anticipating this, Xing Ruo had already reassigned the planning and assistant director tasks to another director, leaving herself responsible only for overseeing progress and expenses. Filming began, and the cast finally reunited. Each couple had a unique dynamic. The divorced pair started arguing immediately, while Xing Yan and Xing Ruo acted naturally, their relationship hovering between friendship and more. Another pair, not quite lovers, had a shy dynamic. As they ate together, memories of their time after the college entrance exams surfaced, recalling a similar meal they once shared. They were all 18 at the time and had gone to karaoke to celebrate. Xing Yan accidentally spilt food on Xing Ruo's clothes, leading her to step out to the restroom, with Xingyan following closely behind. It was on that day that he confessed his feelings to her. Meanwhile, Xing Ruo found herself reliving those moments and felt, for a second, as though Xing Yan was once again that boy from a decade ago. On the second day of filming, each pair of guests was sent to a designated location for their date. Qin Qin and Siyu's shy dynamic made them awkward in front of the camera, leaving the directors frustrated. Meanwhile, Xing Yan and Xing Ruo's situation turns rocky. As Tian Zhao intentionally sabotages Xing Ruo, she directed the driver to drop Xing Ruo in a remote forest with no signal. She sensed something was wrong. Why would they choose such an isolated location? Unable to contact anyone, Xing Ruo was left stranded. While Tian Zhao was at the correct spot to interview Xing Yan, Xing Ruo wandered lost in the forest until nightfall. Sensing something amiss, Xing Yan insisted on checking the location Tian Zhao had sent to Xing Ruo. Realizing Tian Zhao had given her the wrong address, He rushed out to find her, warning her before he left that if anything happened to Xing Ruo, she wouldn't get away with it. Luckily, he found Xing Ruo, but he injured his ankle. Xing Ruo helped him back. And upon learning what had happened, she confronted Tian Zhao at the filming site. She played innocent, acting hurt and confused. Zhang Shu tried to smooth things over, but everyone knew what had happened. Later that evening, Xing Ruo continued filming under the night sky with Xing Yan. She cooked him a steak to show her gratitude, expressing how he'd saved her. This experience deepened their bond. And Xing Ruo even hinted at wanting to start over. Xing Yan was surprised. The crew was delighted, secretly rooting for their double stars couple to rekindle their romance. During post-filming interviews, it was evident that Siyu and Qin Qin shared a subtle sweetness, though they weren't as open as the other couples. Xing Ruo admitted her desire to start anew with Xing Yan was genuine. From the start of the show's planning, he had been by her side. His rescue solidified her feelings, prompting her to speak from the heart. However, once she'd calmed down, she felt maintaining their current friendship might be best. Using her director role, Tian Zhao asked Xing Yan if he had tried reaching out to Xing Ruo after their breakup. He denied it, but she pressed further. He recalled seeing Xing Ruo on her balcony, kissing someone. He chose not to answer Tian Zhao's question further. While Xing Ruo stepped away to take a call, Yu Si took the chance to confide in Xing Yan, admitting his interest in her. He explained he was getting close to her under the guise of friendship, fully aware Xing Yan wouldn't inform Xing Ruo of this, as it would make him appear jealous. After some thought, Xing Yan advised Xing Ruo to be mindful of her behavior during the show, reminding her that the intent was to leverage their double stars couple dynamic. Any off-script moments with others could affect the show's impact and engagement. However, she felt she was interacting with Yu Si as a friend and found Xing Yan's interference excessive. The second week's dates were customized based on the couple's previous interactions. Chen Zhu and Cheng Zhou's task was to limit their words to no more than 10 sentences, with the date content of their choice. On the other hand, Siyu and Qin Qin had to reach at least 100 sentences between them to encourage more interaction. The atmosphere between the double stars was strained. They were supposed to enjoy a barbecue at the resort, but their recent tensions led to sarcastic exchanges. During the recording, Chen Zhu and Cheng Zhou's relationship began to warm up. Meanwhile, Siyu and Qin Qin showed significant improvement. Taking the initiative, he started by discussing a legal case involving a friend, drawing on Qin Qin's expertise. Her professional passion shone as she explained the case, and they completed their task, bringing them closer. After filming, he invited her to see it, celebrating their successful task with a movie and popcorn. At one point, their hands brushed, and they held hands briefly before quickly letting go, both blushing. Finally, the show allowed Xing Yan and Xing Ruo to confront their past. Their breakup years ago, as it turned out, had stemmed from a misunderstanding. Although Xing Ruo had accepted his proposal on air to avoid putting him on the spot, she later returned the ring and told him of her plans to study in Germany. Xing Yan felt hurt that he was the last to know, and he felt a lack of trust between them, leading to their initial split. Before Xing Ruo's departure, however, they cleared up their misunderstandings and attempted a long-distance relationship. Each time he visited Germany, he documented their moments together. However, on his 10th visit, he saw someone kissing on Xing Ruo's balcony and, enraged, mistakenly thought it was her with another man. Storming upstairs, he punched Yu Si. It was a misunderstanding. Yu Si was with his girlfriend. Meanwhile, Xing Ruo had missed a vital work opportunity while resolving the incident at the police station, leaving her deeply disappointed. Haunted by unresolved issues, she felt unable to move forward. Due to her difficult family background, she lacked any idealized view of marriage, with trust missing from their relationship. She ultimately decided to break up. Xing Ruo was reluctant to answer a sensitive question, but Xing Yan insisted on being open. Since they were on the show, they shouldn't avoid difficult topics. Reluctantly, she agreed and openly stated that their breakup was due to differing visions for the future. They were simply two people from different worlds who couldn't make things work. Xing Yan felt this disrespected their years together and, infuriated, ripped off his microphone and stormed back to his room, leaving her frustrated and slamming her chopsticks down. Refusing to continue the show, his absence left producer Zhang Shu desperate for help. He reached out to Chen Zhu, hoping she could assist. However, even she felt helpless. If not even Shen could handle him, then who could? That's when she thought of the one person who might help things. Xing Yan's mother. Sure enough, his mother arrived at the resort, furious, and scolded him thoroughly. However, Xing Yan remained defiant, refusing to budge on his stance. Seeing that her words hadn't swayed him, she arranged to meet Xing Ruo and handed her a small box. Inside were Xing Yan's treasured keepsakes from their time together, which he kept locked away. Back at the inn, she gathered her friends to look through the box. Train tickets, plane tickets, and little mementos from their years together. After reminiscing, they spent time alone, reliving some of their happy moments. Xing Yan took Xing Ruo to an internet cafe to play games together, then to a bar to celebrate the freedom of their first night at 18. It was also the night they first became a couple. They had even rented a hotel room afterwards. Though nothing happened, Xing Yan had fallen asleep. And after seeing him resting, Xing Ruo left a note with a little sketch tucked into his pocket. The memory was bittersweet, and Qin Qin realized he had never truly let go of Xing Ruo all these years. Determined, Xing Ruo approached him directly. She acknowledged they were both angry but admitted wanting to see him regardless. Now, it seemed that work was the only topic left between them. He promised he would rest and return to filming soon. She shared that he had been an inseparable part of her life for over a decade. Although their love hadn't worked out, she wanted to remain in his life in some way. Xing Yan expressed his hope that they would never become strangers. They reached an understanding, rekindling a warm partnership and returning to filming with a natural chemistry in their cooking scenes. The show continued filming with the addition of 2 new challenger guests, one male and one female, who would go on dates with each of the 3 opposite-sex cast members. After 3 rounds of dates, the chosen guest would decide if the challenger could stay and replace one of the original cast members at the cabin. Yusi, the male challenger, chose Xing Ruo as his first date, immediately increasing the tension with Xing Yan. He was assigned to observe the date, could not join, and had to watch their interactions closely. The female challenger was Jia Jing, a lawyer who chose Siyu as her date. Her real interest was to meet Qin Qin, with Siyu merely accompanying her. Although this approach went against the show's format, her actions added intrigue. Yu Si and Xing Ruo went to an archery range. He even requested that she teach him archery, which she reluctantly agreed to. Despite their lack of chemistry, Xing Yan's expression revealed his displeasure. He and Jia Jing's group visited a bookstore and found an old study guide. She recalled that Siyu had gifted her the same book years ago, which surprised and saddened Qin Qin, who thought she was the only one who had received it. Siyu intended the gift solely for Qin Qin, but as class president, he bought copies for everyone out of modesty. The next segment featured a mix of truth or dare games. In the first round, Siyu and Qin Qin had to share a small snack, leaving no more than 3 centimeters between them. The atmosphere is romantic as they get closer. Jia Jing suddenly speaks up, causing the cake to break. The second dare went to Chen Zhu and Cheng Zhou, who had to cling together and tumble like in a washing machine. The closeness left both of them, who still harbored feelings for each other post-divorce, visibly flustered. For the final dare, Yu Si and Xing Ruo had to stare into each other's eyes for 30 seconds. He closed the gap between them, making her uncomfortable, which Xing Yan noticed. Unable to contain himself, he crushed his soda can, causing Xing Yan to smile in his direction, a small gesture showing her gratitude, which left Xing Yan feeling both helpless and relieved. That night, she saw Xing Yan leaving the villa and decided to follow him. They began reminiscing, and she revealed she had once called him, though he hadn't picked up. He had been tipsy at the time and thought he saw a missed call from her. However, he'd assumed it was a figment of his imagination when he found no missed call the next day. He'd even tried to visit her in Germany, but his applications were repeatedly rejected, possibly due to his record with the police. This series of missed opportunities kept them apart. As they continued talking, they couldn't help but kiss. The following morning, they awoke together, Xing Ruo to remember that the crew needed to review the night's footage. Realizing the curtain had been left open, with the camera facing the bed, they panicked and rushed to the monitoring room to clear the footage before anyone else could see it. They cooperated to get the crew out of the way finally. Xing Yan took them for a site inspection, leaving Xing Ruo behind in the editing room to delete the footage. The program rearranged the guest pairs based on the previous round's votes. This time, Xing Ruo and Cheng Zhou were floating guests, meaning they could choose whether or not to join in on the dates. Meanwhile, Chen Zhu and Yu Si went on their date, and Cheng Zhou disguised himself to follow them. Chen Zhu spent most of her time talking about Cheng Zhou, reflecting on how, while she used to enjoy their playful dynamic, she was starting to crave the gentleness and maturity she found in Yu Si. Hearing this, Cheng Zhou was visibly affected. After filming, Yu Si suggested that Chen Zhu open up to Cheng Zhou about her feelings, reminding her that sometimes high expectations lead to disappointment and that she should consider addressing her feelings with him directly. Later that night, Chen Zhu went to Cheng Zhou's room. He assumed she was there to finalize their divorce plans. But his calm acceptance surprised her. He mentioned that their cooling-off period for the divorce would soon end, and he could go to the registry office alone if she wanted. Chen Zhu hadn't intended to discuss their divorce but was caught off guard by Cheng Zhou's decisiveness. Feeling hurt but determined, she held back her true feelings and left his room without further explanation. That evening, Xing Ruo met up with Xing Yan at his provided address. Just as they were settling in, someone suddenly knocked on the door, leaving both startled and unsure of what to do next. Cheng Zhou disrupted Xing Yan and Xing Ruo's evening together by showing up drunk. Luckily, he didn't notice Xing Ruo hiding in the room. Seeing the cozy setup, he asked about it, and Xing Yan, thinking quickly, claimed it was prepared just for Cheng Zhou. Sensing he needed a pick-me-up, touched by the gesture, he insisted on sharing drinks with Xing Yan, leaving Xing Ruo stuck hiding in the closet. When Cheng Zhou eventually went to the bathroom, Xing Ruo tried to sneak out. Her t-shirt was missing. Xu Chengzhou, re-entering, held up her t-shirt, instantly sobering as he realized what was happening. The three people looked at each other silently and seriously. To buy Cheng Zhou's silence, Xing Yan promised him 30 premium game skins, an offer irresistible to a dedicated gamer like Cheng Zhou, who agreed rapidly. As the next round of filming resumed, the show's rules stated that the final unpaired guest would need to leave. Cheng Zhou prepared to say goodbye, understanding that with things settled with Chen Zhu, he was bound to be the odd one out. The production team informed him that lawyer Zhao had arranged their date at the cafe. Hoping to make amends, Cheng Zhou prepared a champagne rose as a peace offering. But Chen Zhu misunderstood when she saw Jia Jing holding the flower. She stormed off, believing Cheng Zhou never understood her preference for yellow roses over champagne. As she left in frustration, he chased her but couldn't clear up the misunderstanding, ultimately agreeing to meet in 2 days to finalize the divorce. Left alone and heartbroken, Cheng Zhou watched Chen Zhu's retreating figure from afar, while Jia Jing observed the whole scene from inside. Meanwhile, Yu Si and Qin Qin went on a date at a pet shop. Understanding her love for animals, he thoughtfully chose a place he knew would touch her heart. He encouraged her to embrace her caring nature and not feel insecure about her quiet personality, reminding her that some people are natural listeners and that staying true to herself mattered most. Following the program's schedule, the guests were to film promotional posters in uniforms at their school. Chen Zhu, wanting to avoid a run-in with Cheng Zhou, offered to fetch his uniform from their house. While searching for it, Xing Ruo and Qin Qin persuaded her to let them read an old journal she'd kept as a trade for their hard work helping her. Inside, they found a note from Cheng Zhou, promising to buy Chen Zhu an ice cream cake for her birthday every year. Xing Ruo felt Cheng Zhou's devotion was real, as he'd always sacrificed for Chen Zhu, and suggested she seriously reconsider the divorce. Taking advantage of the poster shoot, Chen Zhu sincerely apologized to Cheng Zhou, admitting her faults, and the two finally reconciled. Overcome with emotion, they ended up sharing a kiss, marking the start of a new chapter in their relationship. Siyu and Qin Qin had a photo shoot for the show's promo, but they were both too shy, leading to stiff pictures. The director decided to take some candid shots while they were on break, capturing their natural chemistry. Over time, they had grown closer, bonding over their mutual struggles with social anxiety. During the shoot, a staff member named Huang Bing collapsed from a heart condition triggered by fatigue and was hospitalized. Both Zhang Shu and Xing Ruo found this odd, as their schedule hadn't been overbearing. She communicated with Huang Bing's family about compensation outlined in the contract, but after learning about their financial difficulties, she wanted to offer extra support. However, things took a turn when Huang Bing's side refused the compensation and filed a lawsuit, demanding a full year's salary for recovery. Xing Ruo knew the lawsuit could damage the show's future regardless of the outcome. To complicate matters, Huang Bing's close colleagues began a work strike, protesting what they felt was exploitation by the production. Xing Ruo decided to negotiate privately and was surprised to find that Huang Bing's attorney was Qin Qin. Representing the show, Xing Ruo hired lawyer Zhao. During the negotiations, the production offered to honor the contract plus an additional 20,000 yuan for Huang Bing's recovery, but his side demanded 120,000 yuan on humanitarian grounds. Humanitarian compensation is not legally enforceable, but the other side argued for a more substantial settlement due to the circumstances. Later, Chen Zhu invited Xing Ruo and Qin Qin out for drinks, hoping to ease any tension between them. However, the two reassured her that there was no conflict. Qin Qin confided that she was assigned to the case by her firm due to her boss's instructions, not out of personal choice, and was even initially hesitant due to her friendship with Xing Ruo. After some thought, She suspected the other party might be trying to create a rift between them. They agreed to remain professional and focus on their respective roles, resolving not to let this issue strain their friendship. Xing Yan discovered an important clue. Huang Bing had been taking medication for myocarditis, likely concealing his condition as he continued to receive medicine from a clinic, which may have led to his health deteriorating. Although Huang Bing had been drinking herbal medicine from a thermos every day since the filming began, there was no way to prove it was specifically for myocarditis. Xing Yan and Xing Ruo decided to visit Chongqing village directly, aiming to locate the clinic and obtain medical records and a doctor's testimony, which could serve as crucial evidence. When they arrived, they found the villagers had already been informed. The locals claimed the clinic had relocated, and before long, Huang Bing's family showed up, aggressively telling them to leave. Xing Yan almost engaged in a confrontation, but Xing Ruo held him back, as any incident would harm the program's reputation. Shortly after, a group of kids accidentally hit Xing Yan with a ball, giving Xingrua an idea. She asked Lu to feign an injury, persuading the children to take them to the clinic to see Dr. Wang. The children led them straight there. Dr. Wang examined Xing Yan and quickly realized they had other motives. Just then, a man named Da Huang stormed in with some others, ready to confront Xing Yan. Before a fight could break out, Mrs. Wang emerged, mistaking Xing Yan for someone named Wang Shenji. She didn't let anyone hurt him. Da Huang and his men backed down. Sensing the tension, Dr. Wang assured Da Huang he would keep their secret, prompting them to leave. Mrs. Wang, who seemed to have dementia, mistook Xing Ruo for someone named Xu Fang. Thinking she had come to help with her long-awaited wedding preparations with Wang Shenji, they learned about her story with Shenji. Her parents had initially forbidden her from marrying him, as he was preparing to go to the front lines, and they feared he would never return. But before his departure, she gave him a handkerchief she had embroidered, promising to wait for him. When the village lost contact with Wang Shenji, everyone assumed he had passed away, and her family pressured her into marrying someone else. However, when he returned, they met but couldn't speak of their feelings. He then moved to a neighboring village to study traditional medicine under a doctor. Mrs. Wang, later diagnosed with Alzheimer's, was widowed and childless, but her relatives eventually reconnected her with Shenji, bringing them together again. Despite this, she always longed for the wedding ceremony they never had. Meanwhile, Qin visited Huang Bing in the hospital, hoping to negotiate a reduced settlement. However, she noticed a strong herbal smell in the room, particularly from a large thermos by his bed. When she inquired about it, Huang Bing's wife claimed it was merely tonic but didn't provide any real information, raising Qin's suspicions. Qin started focusing on Huang Bing's wife, deciding to investigate through the herbal medicine angle. Together with Cu, they secretly searched for clues. Theoretically, once Huang Bing's wife discarded the garbage, it became public property, so going through it wouldn't constitute an invasion of privacy. Their efforts paid off, and Qin suggested Cu update Xing Yan on their findings. Meanwhile, Xing Ruo and Xing Yan obtained proof that Huang Bing had been ill for some time. Dr. Wang truthfully shared Huang Bing's condition, gave them the prescription, and allowed them to leave, assuring them that he had a plan to handle Da Huang and wouldn't face any trouble. Later, Xing Ruo and Zhang Shu personally visited Huang Bing's home after he was discharged. Seeing their financial hardship, with plastic bottles stacked everywhere, Xing Ruo felt deeply moved. Huang Bing's wife, aware they were in the wrong and worried the production team might take legal action, showed a more cooperative attitude. However, Xing Ruo reassured her that they had no intention of doing so and just wanted to understand the situation. They learned that Huang Bing and his wife had followed Tian Zhao's advice, who had even given them Qin's business card, suggesting they seek her help. With the situation clarified, Zhang Shu and Xing Ruo decided not to hold Huang Bing accountable. They agreed to provide Huang Bing with a 30,000 yuan compensation. She also asked him to help reassure the other crew members and even offered Huang Bing's wife a part-time cleaning job at the company, which she could easily manage while caring for her family. At the company, Xing Ruo and Zhang Shu fired Tian Zhao. She attempted to use her father's influence to pressure them, but Zhang Shu had already informed Mr. Yang, their investor, who agreed that the situation was affecting the company. He advised Tian Zhao to consider what she'd tell Mr. Yang at home, leaving her no choice but to leave. With the team resuming work, Xing Ruo decided to dedicate an episode to Love Express, sharing Wang Shenji and Mrs. Wang's love story to honor their unfulfilled wedding and convey a message about true love. The crew held a wedding ceremony for them, with the female contestants as bridesmaids and the male contestants as groomsmen. During the ceremony, Mrs. Wang recognized Shenji, touched by their deep connection. Qin Xin's first official case didn't bring revenue to the firm, but her manager appreciated her principled approach. As a lawyer, her role is to help clients avoid unnecessary litigation and uphold justice. And Qin Xin has done well. Her cheerful, upbeat demeanor lately was noticeable. She intended to ask Cu to meet after work, but he politely declined, saying he was busy. However, she saw him and Lao Zhao holding hands, crossing the street. Qin Xin returned to the resort in the evening to find Cu waiting outside her door. He wanted to cook noodles together, but Qin Xin wasn't in the mood and retreated to her room with a cup of instant noodles. He was puzzled by her sudden change in attitude. Qin Xin shared what she saw with her close friends. Chen Zhu, with her fiery temper, immediately wanted to confront Cu but was held back. Xing Ruo was concerned that this might be a misunderstanding, so she suggested they should clarify things. Calming down, Chen Zhu proposed that Cheng Zhou and Xing Yan try to get information from Cu. Unfortunately, Cheng Zhou and Xing Yan failed to get any answers. Cu didn't want to lie but couldn't explain the situation. The show resumed recording, and it was time for the contestants to make their final choices. Zhao Jing chose Cu, prompting an outburst from Chen Zhu, who accused them of being shameless. When it was Cu's turn, Qin Xin suddenly declared her decision to leave. She ran off, and he chased after her. With everyone else following, Qin Xin visibly upset. She confronted Cu about his close relationship with Zhao Jing, arguing that he never should have chosen her if they were so close. Xing Ruo stopped the recording and instructed all staff to delete unofficial footage. She was concerned that this drama could be sensationalized before the show aired. Later, Cu met with Zhao Jing. He explained that his loyalty to her over the years was due to her mental health struggles and his support for her in seeking counseling, which had been kept private at her request. She admitted she had joined the show because of him. Years ago, he had saved her when she was contemplating suicide. Her mother could no longer have children after giving birth to her, and her father, who favored sons, pressured her. Over the years, she endured her mother's resentment and harsh criticism, trying to prove her worth but receiving only scorn in return. Cu happened to overhear Jia Jing's heated argument with her mother one day, and when she ran away, he followed her and stopped her from jumping into the sea. He encouraged her to see a psychologist and accompanied her to appointments ever since. She had misinterpreted his support as romantic interest, but Cu gently clarified that he didn't feel the same and had already found someone he loved. Meanwhile, Cheng Zhou informed Xing Yan that the resort had received a reservation for a funeral, which turned out to be for Xing Ruo's father. Because repatriating the body was complicated, he was cremated abroad, and his family would be bringing his ashes home for a farewell ceremony. Though Xing Ruo had a strained relationship with her father, Xing Yan broke the news to her gently. Feeling her pain, the shock was overwhelming for her. Xing Yan took Xing Ruo home, staying with her to provide comfort. As she looked at the messages her father had left for her, she couldn't hold back her tears. She pulled out a notebook her father had given her, with a hand-drawn portrait of her on the cover. Her father had secretly tucked it into her suitcase when she moved in with Xing Yan. One corner of the notebook was slightly burned, a reminder of the night Xing Yan had found her playing with a lighter, ultimately saving the notebook from being burned completely. Her father was a well-known painter, so their family was financially comfortable, and her mother was a renowned pianist who gave up performing after marriage. She had always believed they were a happy family, not realizing that cracks had formed between her parents in ways she couldn't see. After her mother passed away, her world crumbled. She was especially devastated when her father began a relationship with her teacher shortly after her mother's death. Heartbroken, she moved in with Xing Yan and cut ties with her father, working various jobs to support herself. Xing Yan relayed her father's final wish to her. If she had any lingering resentment, she should express it by delivering a eulogy at his farewell ceremony. Taking his advice, Xing Ruo decided to honor her father with a eulogy. But just after she finished her heartfelt speech, she was stunned to see her father standing alive before her. It turned out that the farewell ceremony was staged. Her father had arranged it to see how people would remember him after he was gone. Touched by her words, he thanked her for letting go of the past and reconciling with him. And he also thanked Xing Yan for managing every detail of the event. Furious at discovering the deception, Xing Ruo turned to Xing Yan, who avoided her gaze and felt ashamed. Enraged, she left but was confronted by her father outside. Unexpectedly, Ms. Fang appeared. She revealed that she had been caring for Xing Ruo's father during his illness. He had moved on during a brief stay abroad. Ms. Fang felt betrayed, as she had lost her job and ended up in a broken relationship with him. She and his new girlfriend began to argue and even fought publicly, which Xing Ruo couldn't bear to see. so she turned to leave, but she was accidentally struck by a microphone thrown during the scuffle, causing her to faint and end up in the hospital. Fortunately, her injuries were not serious. Xing Yan came to apologize, explaining that he'd only learned her father was alive on the morning of the ceremony. He had wanted to tell her, but everything happened so quickly that he didn't have the chance. Despite his apology, Xing Ruo found it hard to forgive her father, whom she still held responsible for her mother's death in her heart. Years ago, Xing Ruo's father insisted on divorcing her mother. Heartbroken, her mother tried to hold onto the marriage but couldn't stop a man who no longer loved her. The night her father left, her mother played a piano piece, and Xing Ruo cried silently in her room, too afraid to come out. The next morning, she found a farewell note from her mother. This tragic experience made her unable to forgive her father. She believed that if he hadn't left, her mother would still be alive. It also left her deeply fearful of marriage, as she felt that even deeply loving relationships could ultimately be destroyed by life's harsh realities. The following day, Yu Si visited Xing Ruo and confessed his feelings for her. He had admired her since they competed on a reality show but was heartbroken to hear about her engagement to Xing Yan, assuming he'd lost his chance. When they met abroad and became roommates, he realized her engagement hadn't led to marriage. Seeing her pain intensified his resentment toward Xing Yan when they eventually broke up. Yu Si finally confronted Xing Yan about his feelings during the reality show's filming. Xing Ruo was surprised, realizing Xing Yan's jealousy had stemmed from Yu Si's feelings, not some imagined rivalry. Just as their conversation ended, a nurse knocked, delivering food Xing Yan had prepared for Xing Ruo. She smiled, filled with warmth. After she was discharged, she took Xing Yan to the editing room to watch the episode about Shen Ji and his wife's love story, both touched by the heartfelt narrative. Soon after, Xing Yan received a call from Xing Ruo's father's current partner, telling him that he was critically ill. They hurried to the hospital and overheard the doctor's prognosis. There was nothing more they could do. Chen Fei explained that she hadn't called earlier due to Xing Ruo's father's guilt over the staged farewell ceremony, which had hurt his daughter. With little time left, she could no longer keep it from them. Xing Ruo visited her father, sharing a final conversation that helped release the long-held bitterness. Chen Fei arranged Xing Ruo's father's funeral, wearing a necklace containing a piece of his ashes, per his wishes to stay close to her. Since the initial farewell ceremony had already been held, they decided not to organize another, as it had been his way of reconnecting with old friends and seeing his daughter. Xing Ruo now without both parents, she felt that her only path forward was with Xing Yan. He promised to stay by her side forever, vowing to be more understanding and considerate, avoiding past impulsiveness. Hearing his words, she felt her affection for him deepen even more. The show continues filming. Xing Ruo reaches out to Qin Qin, requesting her return to film some additional scenes. When Qin Qin arrives, she realizes Cu orchestrated the situation. He reveals the truth, admitting he had lied before. His feelings for her weren't an act, they were genuine and had been there for a long time. Surprised and moved, Qin Qin feels self-conscious, as she's previously been through a failed marriage. However, he reassures her that past experiences don't matter, and she reciprocates her feelings, calling him her unreachable moonlight. The two finally embrace, sealing their newfound honesty with a kiss. Meanwhile, Xing Yan brings Xing Ruo to a unique art exhibit dedicated to her father's work. Her father's last wish was for her to experience his art, which tells their father-daughter story. Xing Ruo feels grateful to Xing Yan, recognizing his role in helping her reconcile with her father. She reflects that without him, she would have missed her final chance to speak with her father. Chen Zhu and Cheng Zhou's date takes a new turn as well. He has significantly matured and impressed Chen Zhu with the beautiful photos he takes of her. Having practiced photography secretly, Xing Ruo is sincerely happy for Chen Zhu and Qin Qin as they finally found love. With the show's premiere approaching, all 8 contestants gather to watch the first broadcast together. The group enjoys a light-hearted moment. Since Xing Yan's car is at the mechanics, Cu lends him his. However, Jia Jing had recently driven Cu's car before returning it, and upon seeing Xing Yan take the keys, she becomes visibly anxious. As he drives, he quickly realizes that the brakes aren't working. Xing Yan is in a car accident, and upon receiving the news, everyone rushes to the hospital. He needs surgery, but since Xing Ruo isn't a legal family member, she cannot sign the consent forms. With Xing Yan's parents traveling abroad and unable to return quickly, the hospital has to consult with the administration to grant special permission. The formal consent will have to wait until his family arrives. The surgery went smoothly, but due to internal bleeding in his brain, he is currently in a coma. The doctors warn that his condition could worsen over the next 24 hours. and if necessary, they may need to perform brain surgery. Siyu finds the situation suspicious and notices Jia Jing's uneasy expression. Later that evening, he tells Qin Qin about his concerns. Under her questioning, he recalls that the day he declared his intention to be with Qin Qin, Jia Jing had borrowed his car under the pretense of meeting a client. Although Qin Qin also doubts, she decides not to add to Siyu's stress and wait for the police investigation. Siyu has already inquired about the car's damage, but the front end is completely burned, making it difficult to gather evidence. Eventually, Xing Yan wakes up and is recovering well. When Xing Yan is discharged, his parents return from abroad, sensing the rekindled romance between him and Xing Ruo. His mother tactfully pretends to be unwell, taking her husband to stay at a villa so the couple can have time alone. With the show's success after airing, the team is delighted. To enhance promotion, they initiate a live segment involving all contestants. During the live stream, the online audience's questions are challenging, putting everyone's communication skills to the test. A viewer asks Siyu why he secretly kept his 10-year crush on Qin Qin. He replies that he's not good at expressing his feelings, and missed the timing for a confession. When asked what makes for the right timing, he says it depends on the other person's situation and his clear plans for the future. Soon, viewers begin to criticize Qin Qin over her past divorce. No longer timid, she candidly acknowledges her divorce. Facing hostile comments, she states that the show doesn't exclude divorced contestants and that denying her past wouldn't erase it. She shares that with friends' encouragement, she overcame her insecurities and was fully prepared to face scrutiny by joining the show. Viewers are also curious about Chen Zhu and Cheng Zhou's relationship. They question how a wealthy and attractive woman like Chen Zhu would fall for someone like him, who has a history of online gaming. Chen Zhu answers that Cheng Zhou has always been kind and considerate. Her answer, however, sparks speculation that they may have reconciled, as the show's early episodes feature their disagreements. With a reminder from the director, Chen Zhu skillfully redirects the conversation to avoid further slip-ups. Next, lawyer Zhao and Yu Si are in the spotlight. He is impressed with her diplomatic responses, showing her to be eloquent and perceptive. Before the live stream ends, an unexpected incident unfolds. Qin Qin's ex-husband arrives, attempting to cause a scene, but is promptly stopped by security. Reviewing the situation, Xing Ruo notes the suspicious ease with which he accessed the venue from an unguarded entrance. She quickly has the livestream cut off. Meanwhile, lawyer Zhao secretly arranges for footage of Siyu and Li Qi's earlier fight to be posted online. Soon, the videos begin trending on social media, including a clip showing them cornering Li Qi in an alleyway. Suspecting that someone from the team collaborated with Li Qi to orchestrate the leak, Xing Ruo realizes it would be impossible for him to pull this off alone. She decides to enlist Xing Yan's help to investigate. During the argument, Xing Yan presents evidence linking someone from their team to a video leak. Protecting her team, Xing Ruo stops him from publicly revealing the culprit and expresses hope that the person will confess. The streaming platform demands a temporary halt and review of the program, leading to concerns about financial losses. As an investor, Xing Yan foresees the challenges of recovering costs. He asks lawyer Zhao to draft a compensation agreement and discuss it with Xing Ruo, signaling his intention to protect his own investments. Though Jia Jing pretends to sympathize, Xing Yan suspects her involvement and deliberately tests her. When lawyer Zhao approached Xing Ruo, she knew that He Ming, a team member, had worked with the blogger to leak the footage. He Ming confesses, and Xing Ruo, though disappointed, acknowledges his motives and assures him of her support by giving him the producer role on the next show. She, however, presses He Ming to reveal who persuaded him to act against the team's interests. He confesses that lawyer Zhao promised him future projects if he assisted her. Xing Ruo appreciates He Ming's honesty and asks him to call Jia Jing, following her script, to help expose her gradually. Meanwhile, Qin Qin confronts Li Qi privately. Having tracked the IP address linked to the leaked video, she reminds him of the potential legal and financial repercussions if the truth comes out. Shaken, he admits that Jia Jing was behind the scheme. Jia Jing, confident there are no cameras around, finally admits to orchestrating everything. She reveals her long-standing feelings for Xing Yan since their school days, which turned bitter when Xing Ruo entered his life after he left the country. She hoped for a chance with Xing Yan. She became his legal advisor. But Xing Ruo reappeared and rekindled their bond. Feeling betrayed, she also resented Qin Qin for taking Siyu's affections. Driven by jealousy, she sought to reclaim what she had lost. Unbeknownst to her, Xing Yan is in the room, listening to her confession. Additionally, Xing Ruo has been recording the whole conversation live, with the production team watching from another location. She has already contacted the police to hold Jia Jing accountable. Enraged, lawyer Zhao tries to attack Xing Ruo with a knife. Xing Yan intervened and suffered a minor injury to his hand. Xing Ruo quickly subdues Jia Jing until security arrives and escorts her away. Afterward, she tends to Xing Yan's injury, and he expresses surprise at her hidden martial arts skills, appreciating her strength even more. While lounging on the couch, Chen Zhu and Cheng Zhou stumble upon a design sketch with proposal details. To their surprise, Xing Ruo reveals to Chen Zhu that the sketch is hers. She's planning to propose to Xing Yan. Chen Zhu is shocked. She never expected someone with a fear of commitment to take the initiative. After recent events, Xing Ruo realized how deeply she loves Xing Yan and doesn't want to miss her chance with him, since he had already proposed once. She wanted it to be her turn to take the lead. Meanwhile, Xing Yan and Cheng Zhou, assuming it's Cu planning to propose to Qin Qin, agree to keep the secret for their friend. However, Xing Yan becomes worried Xing Ruo might misunderstand, so he decides to clarify things with her at dinner. Coincidentally, a proposal happens at a nearby table, making him anxious that Xing Ruo might think he's behind it. She can't help but laugh at his nervousness. Back at the villa, he hands her his ring, reassuring her he's not planning a surprise proposal. Meanwhile, Chen Zhu discovers she's pregnant. Cheng Zhou is overjoyed, but Chen Zhu is filled with anxiety, uncertain if she's ready to be a mother. Xing Ruo and Qin Qin support her, urging her to take it easy. Then, Cheng Zhou suddenly goes missing. Xing Yan and Cu rush back to find him. In reality, Cheng Zhou had signed up for a dad-to-be class, and the first session involved experiencing labor pain, leaving him too occupied to answer his phone. Learning that Chen Zhu had gone to the hospital, he rushed to find her. Thankfully, she's there for a prenatal checkup, not a procedure, and is touched to see he's committed to being a good father. At the program's finale, Xing Ruo appears in a wedding dress and proposes to Xing Yan on air. Overwhelmed, he can barely respond. Overjoyed at finally reaching this long-awaited moment, she presents 2 rings that symbolize their shared journey, and they exchange them as the cast and crew celebrate. To mark a new beginning, the 3 couples set off on a relaxing road trip together, enjoying each other's company in their love stories. If you want to see more drama like this, subscribe to channel and don't forget to like the video.